Man was going to rampage. I mean, he had the whole Lansdowne Avenue was scared of him. They all knew his reputation.
I was scared. I was scared. I was scared for my family because it was rumor around the neighborhood that the father, Chester Law Sr., was out to get any Woods that he can get.
I turned myself in with good faith, thinking that the system was going to correct this, but I didn't understand the forces I was against.
You testified in court that you had witnessed Mr. Carmen Woods commit this murder.
Yeah, Dan.
Did you, in fact, witness Mr. Carmen Woods commit this murder?
No, I didn't.
You did not?
Did not.
There's no way in the world he could have seen it because he was in North Philadelphia with me. 7 years ago, I went to Carmen's lawyer and told him what happened and told him that I would come to court and testify to what happened. And somewhere down the line, the word got out, and I was threatened that if I did show up in court the day that Carmen probably went on trial, that somebody was going to kill me. And when that happened, I said, I'm not going.
When I got convicted, my mother was in the courtroom. So I looked at my mother, and she was just at a loss. She understood probably that I would be gone for a long time. It wasn't too long after that I lost my mother. And I know emotionally that it had broke her a whole lot.
Hey, Brother Mark.
Hey, Carmen, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm great, and I'm grateful and thankful, no doubt. Truly thankful for everything, alhamdulillah. I see you all set up over there.
Yeah, this is for y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate it, trust me.
I was there, man. I can't tell you how many stories I read, because I got into the law in there.
Right.
After I appealed my own case. Well, my situation, right. I wasn't appealing innocence, but I was entitled to triple RI. And then I got into the law library, started hearing all these other stories, and like this, I mean, our rights are violated. And if we don't have a name or, you know, the financial ability, our voices, our stories, and our lives are pushed under rocks.
They literally trample us, and it's just the opposite with those who have the influence and the money. You see how Donald Trump is able to do what he's able to do.
Yeah.
And
so many more. Hunter Biden. I really think one of the biggest issues is the immunities, like sovereign immunity, absolute immunity that the judges and DAs have.
Right. That's crazy.
The fact that the prosecution side, they can pay witnesses.
Right.
But on the defense side, that would be called bribery.
Bribery. Exactly.
Mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Then it's not a fair trial if that's...
Yeah, that in itself is not a fair trial. That's an oxymoron if you ever heard of one there. And my case is a prime example of how they ran amok with this justice system, like, you know what I mean? And now the cat is out the bag, like literally out the bag. I mean, now, like the mere fact they allowed this dude to commit a perjury on the stand when he was testifying by saying this dude was shot from the back of the head. And they autopsy revealed he was shot from the front. Obviously, he didn't see nothing. He was just making up a story because we know now for a fact that he had a stolen car from Florida and he wanted to get favor for it. And he got favor for it, and he never was charged for it. He got locked up with the stolen car, though, sometime later on before my trial.
Is that the witness, the actual one that testified? Because I seen there was two, and the ones that he didn't go, they told him, I think they threatened him.
They threatened him, yeah. He'd have been testifying for me. He was going to tell them that he was with him the same night of the incident.
Yeah.
And he didn't see anything. He knew because he was willing. They was in North Philly somewhere, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So they threatened him, but the witness that testified against me, he had literally got kicked out of the Army in March '82, right? And when he got kicked out, he was in Florida. That's where he was stationed at the Navy. Out the Navy. And when he came to Philadelphia, he rented a car with the intention of keeping it. He wasn't going to turn it in. So he kept that car. March 26th, they declared that car stolen in his name. He in Philadelphia with this car. He's riding around all the way up until May, right, when this guy got killed in my case. He knew the guy. The guy was a younger guy under him. And he knew the guy's father and family and everything. So he alleged that he saw somebody get shot and never called the police. Never said nothing to the family and nothing. 3 days, on May 16th is when the guy got killed. 3 days later, he alleged that I shot the guy. He said because I shot at him too 3 days later, because I knew he saw me shoot somebody, right? Now, mind you, one of his excuses for not going to the police on May 16th, let him tell it was he had a stolen car, just got out of the Navy, and didn't want to get involved. All right. So the stolen car was a motive that he had that he's going to use for his own interest. I mean, with the DA. He admitted all this in the affidavit that he had a stolen car. They told him that they would promise they wouldn't prosecute him, and they did that. They didn't prosecute him on May 19th when he came forth. They took the stolen car from him, though. The DA said this in my transcript. They took the stolen car. However, though, 3 months later, he got caught with 4 months later, he got caught with the same stolen car in another section of the city. How did he get the stolen car back? So they couldn't, their explanation, we ain't finding all this out till like 27 years later. Because there was a reason for us to go back and check his records because the DA said something about a deal he had, right? And these, mind you, would be new DAs that don't really know what's going on in the case. And they spilled something out. So it made us go back and check it, and sure enough, that's what it was. And their excuse was, well, maybe the homicide investigators forgot to take the car. Well, can't say that. That's literally what they say in their brief.
That's crazy.
Can't say that. Because the DA trial and his closing arguments and his opening argument said they took the car when he came forth with information on me. So he had a motive to say, don't prosecute me for this, don't send me back to Florida for this. Now, not only did he have a deal with that, on June 1st, 1982, or 2nd, something like that, he got locked up with a gun. He got locked up with a gun, carrying a gun on the avenue at my end. And he said they also gave him a deal for that, to reinforce to him that we make sure you don't go to jail. He ended up getting locked up, getting processed, so that was on the record. When it came time to go to court, they postponed to after my trial. Then when he went to court for the gun in January '83 or something like that, they non-prosecuted the case. Due to lack of prosecution, they dropped the case.
A gun.
A gun that he had. I mean, and these were some of the games, but we were totally oblivious to a lot of this at that time. I mean, had we knew some of this stuff that was going on, that's my wife, Wanda. Wanda, that's Mark.
Hi, Wanda.
Yeah, that's my daughter and my sisters, like my sole supporters. I mean, and then I have young lady down in Maryland. She's a supporter of ours too, and she actually be doing investigations on a case too as well.
The witnesses, whatever became of them?
See, I had alibi with it. I was at a club. I was at a bar, Stacy's bar. Mind you, I'm underage, but I'm at a bar, and that was one of the things that tripped it all up because they kind of like threatened some of the dudes that own the bar and the bouncer and all that I'm being an underage person, so he flicked the story up. But here's how it went. I was at a bar called Stacy's Bar, and about 2 o'clock, maybe 2:05, bar grade closed. we all gonna shoot down the after hour. Now, the guy that was got killed, he was at the bar too. He was with two other friends, right? So they got a little tipsy, they on their way out. They walk him out, watch him walk all the way up to his block up on Felton, about 3 blocks away, and go home. They see me pull out in my car, I'm going total opposite way to an after hour. This is at 60th and Lansdowne, or 59th and Lansdowne, and where I'm going toward is 48th and Lansdowne. Where the guy that got killed, he was going toward 62nd and Lansdowne. Total opposite ways. Oh. So the guys that was with him, they see me pull out, my people in the car with me, we roll. They roll down the street, walk down Media, go up to Felton, and they come on the block later on, and they see the guy laying on the block. They seen a lady there first, and the lady asked if they know who it is, and they say, oh, we know, he was just with us earlier. Now, the same witness that gave me this case, we already know he lied about saying the guy got shot from the back of the head. These 2 guys that this guy was with earlier in the night, he said these 2 guys was on the block when the guy got killed. And the guy walked past them, and I ran past him. They knew he was lying because they had statements from them 2 witnesses that said they was not on the block. This is evidence that we discovered in the homicide files.
Recently.
And this is recently. This is the argument right now in the homicide files that we found that the courts got. So they allowed this witness to testify that these 2 guys was on the block and the DA didn't correct them. The DA had an obligation to say, oh, no, that's a mistake. They wasn't on the block. And we know for a fact that the DA knew it because the homicide detectives submitted statements from both of them that same night. They saying they wasn't on the block. We came up later, and there's a lady that was there who discovered the body and asked us if we knew who that person was on the ground. And we said, yeah, that was Chester. He was with us. This is in a statement. They had this for over 43 years. For 43 years, they had these statements. And by the grace of God, Allah, Krasner allowed us to get these homicide files now, and now we can see what they've been looking at and holding back and hiding from us.
Yeah.
So that was one, right? That was one of the issues that we had. Then there was another cop that interviewed the same dude, one of the same dudes that same night, because these dudes, one of them made 2 statements that night. The cop said in his little report, Omar Ankrum wasn't on the block when the shooting occurred. So they knew the witness was lying. So that, along with Brian Ellison's statement, the 2 guys was together, they hid that from me, which was Brady, and it was timely because it was in the homicide files. And that's what we argued.
When did you get your H file?
I think it was like October 22.
So
like October 22. So we had to go back and forth, postponements, DA postpone. So we finally got to the point, we got the briefs in, and when we got the briefs in, they conceded. They conceded to the fact that they never turned the stuff over to us, and it was timely, right? And it was timely. So the argument really is materiality.
Yeah.
But we had the judge, DeClardio, and he has a misrepresentation of how to handle Brady. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We also, I'll give you another example why. He say that these 2 guys, no, he say it was a lady, that the lady that these 2 guys walked up on, asked about who anybody know this guy was on the ground. The 2 dudes said they knew who it was. She was a material witness. She would have been a material witness for me to impeach Homer Lane on the stand when he was testifying to that. They held that back. Now, DeClardio say, well, this lady couldn't help you, and they wouldn't have been able to help you because the lady, she didn't see nothing. She didn't see nobody shoot. She don't know. She didn't hit. So he never read the statement properly. You know what I mean? Had he read the statement properly, he would have understood that she came out, nobody else was there but the guy on the ground. 2 guys walked up. These 2 guys was 2 guys that the Homer Lane said these guys on the block.
Yeah.
Total impeachment had we had these statements at trial. Total impeachment.
The witness statement is all that they had.
That's it. That's it. Now, mind you, his original statement was, I didn't see anything. My mother woke me up after she looked out the window and heard some commotion going on. Then I looked out the window and I seen 2 guys. I seen these guys out there. One of them was Omar, a guy live up the street. He's one of the 2 guys that he tried to put on the scene. It's crazy. And he tried to disavow that original statement of May 16th because the police went door to door. And they asked his mother, did you see anything? So police took her statement. She said, no, I just looked out the window after I heard something. Then I woke my son up. No, he said his mother woke him up. He said, my mother woke me up after she heard some shooting and some commotion going on. Yeah. So he put himself off the scene. So they tried to disavow that statement at trial. He said, I didn't say that. I don't remember that. I didn't say that. But the DA ended up stipulating to the fact if the police would have came to court, they would have understood that that's what he took from the witness, Homer Lane. 3 days later, that's when he come and say, these guys was on the block. Before the guy got shot, he walked past them. After he got shot, I ran past these 2 dudes. They said, nah, it's impossible. And they knew this. They allowed the trial to go on, knowing the whole time that their witness was lying. And the witness, he signed an affidavit stating that he lied at trial. He didn't witness no homicide. He said, I shot. He's still saying that I shot at him. But he's saying, I didn't witness the homicide. I don't know if you remember Dan Quaylar. You remember him? Channel 6 investigative reporter.
It was from back in the 80s?
Yeah. He was interviewing people in the neighborhood. He was investigating and he talked to Homer Lane and all that. And he admitted to him, yeah, I lied at trial. I didn't, see anything. Yeah, I mean, but again.
And you could see that took a lot for him to say that. But he wanted to do what was right.
But you know what? And what he said bared out to be true. We couldn't prove it then like we can prove it now. His word wasn't enough. You mean his word wasn't enough. But now we got material evidence to substantiate everything he was saying about the deals he got and how he lied about seeing this thing. You know what I mean? So the other issue that we got, it was a third-party suspect. They had a witness by the name of Mr. Hill who actually saw somebody run from the scene, jump in a car, a blue and white Cadillac, write down a tag number. They buried the information. We just got it in the homicide files when we got this stuff here. After an investigation going on, trying to find out about this guy, we couldn't find him. He's probably dead and gone. We don't know. So we go to court. The Claudio say, this does nothing for me. I can't wrap my mind about giving you a new trial with this here. What do you mean? First of all, it's Brady. They didn't turn it on. It's timely. And it's material. We could have presented this and alter our whole defense and show how we was deprived of investigation. I mean, he was like, I can't do nothing with this.
I've met with a lot of people, and it always came down to the Claudio. It seemed like he was a wall. Because when you file PCRA, that's who you'd go before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like they put him there intentionally. He put himself there. But there's a lot of cases that I read that, I mean, that's where it stopped. And it was, I mean, there's only so many claims you can raise on an appeal. Right. And he shot down every single one. And he shot him down like that's not a good enough a claim.
Wow.
So I'm glad they switched him out of there.
Yeah, and he misrepresents the whole issue of Brady. I mean, and fortunately, two things. Fortunately, he told me to get more information on this third-party suspect. Find out this is a real tag number. right? So of course that's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is, the fortunate thing is, as crazy and as incompetent as he be, because he don't read like he's supposed to read, he was the one, for the most part, giving up new trials in Philadelphia. He had more new trials than any other trial judges like that that's doing appeals.
DeClaudio?
Believe it or not. Yeah, DeClaudio.
What year was that?
For the last 4 or 5 years, he's been the one that has been releasing people, like literally. But somehow he get it later on, like in my last hearing last December, after he got to the end of the hearing, and because he kept cutting my lawyer off from talking about the materiality and how had we had this evidence with the lady at the scene, we could have easily impeached the witness. He said, I don't want to hear about her. She didn't witness anything. This guy, you keep talking about the witness. Your Honor, it was only one witness in the case. This is the witness that we would have impeached. Oh, that's Homer Lane. And I couldn't compute this at the time at the hearing. I could only compute when I read the transcripts. I see how he was responding to. I said, damn, he finally got it at the end of the thing. And he put us on hold to get more information on that tag number, though. Everything else he denied.
So he seemed like he wanted to do something, the right thing?
Right, he seemed like he wanted to do something, but he still put us on hold with it and told us, go ahead, get more information on this. He denied all the 3 other claims we had, right? The Brian Ellison, Omar Ingram, the officer who took the statement from them, and a young lady who was there. And he denied that, but he kept the attorney the suspect and told us to find more information on that tag number. So now, push come to shove, he gets this discipline. He gets suspended from the bar, from the bench.
But yet, from his past, and that's why he started to straighten up here at the end. And
right.
It was only just a couple years. He let the guy in the Jason Perez case go, the actual shooter, and deferred Jason Perez, who his case is up now. Judge Schultz is trying to clean up what he left.
She know he was messing the cases up.
Yeah. Right. And you know, it seemed like he had everybody under the impression that he was above board and that he was on the side of the wrongfully convicted until that day in the courtroom, and he showed his true colors.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he showed his true colors, and I was like, but people still was being hoodwinked because of, I guess, maybe his reputation. Yeah, but he was a fraud, I thought, on our behalf. I don't mean to call him names, you know, astaghfirullah, but he did a fraudulent act as far as I'm concerned.
He did. He definitely did.
There was a couple cases that I read that he did, you know, he vindicated them, he exonerated them. But I mean, was there a different motive behind that? Like, you have to let somebody go to deny so many?
Probably so.
That's what it seems like. I mean, I'd like to see an investigation done on all his previous cases.
And they're probably doing an investigation on right now. This is how bad he was. He had over 700 cases backlogged. So when Jennifer Schultz come into play, that's how we find out. She had 700 cases backlogged that he had held up. So now they're giving some of her cases away. 9 homicide cases they're giving away. Now they're giving out some of the homicide cases.
So
they want to get her caseload down so she could be more manageable with the cases. And that's why she want to get stuff done, deals done, whatever needs to be done, get it over with. You deserve a new trial, get the new trial. You got a deal on the table.
Keep it pushing.
So she said, she even said that what we're going to do is, we're going to hear all the cases. You can re-argue your brief again. You can re-argue, like the issues that he denied me, he never put it in writing. So she can't put an opinion in based on his denial. She got to hear the issues again, all over again herself.
Good.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's going on right now with Jason Perez.
So you know what I'm talking about. I mean, so that's a good thing for me, and we're able to read, somebody that's going to read the case, understand the law. You know what I mean? So now that's where we at. The DA said, we don't have nothing new. We don't want to do no rebriefing. Let them, letting us just do it. So we get a chance to re-argue our cases. Now, I had to get a new DA? What's his name again? Cole Stevens. Cole Stevens.
Okay.
Cole Stevens. So now here's what we had done. We got a new lawyer too. I had to get rid of my old lawyer. Not too bad of a guy, but he just couldn't handle the Claudio, and it made he was too weak at this argument. He got me all the way up to that point, and he still support me, from a distance. You know what I mean?
Good.
But we got another lawyer for Ty Moser. So I told Ty Moser to get the files again. Look through the files again. So he got them. He found this information with the tag number. The DA had the tag up, the person who owned the car and everything, the files. They interviewed this dude, had the pictures of him right in the files the whole time. You know what I mean? So they know who the suspect was. They knew who the car belonged to, and they knew who the tag number. So they knew all this stuff all these years and never turned none of this over. I mean, it's only one thing they could really, and I really expect the DA to come forth at the next hearing and say, we just support a new trial. We really support it, because this evidence that they got now and the argument, re-arguing the old issues, it's plain and clear I didn't get a fair trial.
What evidence would they use? Could they use for a new trial? They would have to
stipulate. That's why I said they would have to, once they establish a new trial, then they'll ask, the judge will probably ask them, like, what are you going to do? They're going to probably say, we can't retrial. We have nothing to retrial, period. Because they have nothing.
Where, do you know where everyone is from then? I mean, all the people, all the parties that were or could have been available back then?
The witness died. The judge died. The DA died.
The lawyer's dead.
The lawyer's dead. I think he did. Ronald Morrison, my trial lawyer, I think he did. Omar Ankrum is dead. Brian Ellison, he's alive, but I don't know where he at. He moved from North Philly. He had got locked up recently for a sex charge. And he was down Philadelphia Detention Center somewhere. So he had got out. I don't know if they dropped the charge or not, but everybody else is pretty much the father. And the father of the victim, he was very influential in maneuvering the police.
The media portrays that he was a big part of it.
Right. He was the one that was pulling strings with Homer Lane and the DA and the homicide detectives. Because his name is in some of the paperwork where he's saying, the homicide detective saying, well, Chester Law seen say, get with this person here or get with this person. So he was very invested in the investigation. He should have never been. They allowed him to be invested in the investigation. Yeah, he shouldn't.
Did the witness work for the dad? The victim's dad?
The father owned 2 bars, one in West Philly and one in North Philly. When he got him, knowing that he was going to be testifying on his behalf, he had him work his bar up in North Philly somewhere. And probably gave him some money. Probably gave him some dope, because he was a dope fiend too. The guy was on drugs too, no doubt. So that's common knowledge that we knew that he did. The father was looking out for him like that. Father was taking him back and forth to court. He tried to deny at trial that he brought himself to court, and when he got cross-examined and questioned on again, oh, I got a ride. Then who you get a ride from? I just got a ride from some friends. Who you get a ride from friends? Oh, I don't know, I took myself there. How you take yourself there? You got a ride from friends. What did you do? Oh, I got a ride from friends. Because you couldn't take your car, right? Because it was flat, something like that. Yeah, I couldn't take my car. Had we knew and understood what he was saying, he still had that stolen car back then. But your man come find out, he admitted, oh, the father took me. Oh, the father took you, huh? Yeah, okay. So he admitted on the stand that I told the father a day before that I had an ideal, I didn't know for sure who killed the son. He admitted that he didn't know or understand, but the jury still convicted me. And this stuff still upheld. Now, my lawyer at trial, to his credit, I told him, object, open recross-examination, because it was closed. Or after my co-defendant lawyer was cross-examined. But after that, it was closed. But he asked the judge, who was the worst judge in Philadelphia at the time, Albert F. Sabo. If you look his name up, they call him King of Death Row. But he told my lawyer, no more cross-examination. He said, Your Honor, the man just admitted that he didn't know who killed the son. He said, no more cross-examination.
What?
He cut it, it's in the transcript. Yeah.
Now, this, you didn't brush on this.
That's on the documentary. That's on the documentary too.
And I'm familiar, but a lot of people aren't. This is Philadelphia in the 80s.
Yeah.
Then in the 90s and the early 2000s, it finally came out. Well, in the late 2000s, it came out what Philadelphia had been up to the past decade and two. And, you know, the 80s is no different. The 80s was probably the worst of it.
It was
just not that much documentation because we didn't have cameras. You know, that do not call to testify list. That's Philadelphia.
It was worse because there was here was the culture in Philadelphia at the time, right? It was the judges was judicial misconduct. With their judicial misconduct, they was covering for the DAs. Right, by allowing them to get away with all type of stuff that they knew they was wrong. Like when you think about some of the DAs,
Lynn Abraham,
Robert King, they was getting away with murder.
Ed Rendell.
They had Ed Rendell. They had a sex for witness testimony in Philadelphia in the early '80s. That dudes is getting new trials on right now.
Man.
They was taking, homicide detectives was taking some of the witnesses, wives or women, to the Afrin race and taking these dudes from the county jail to Afrin race, letting them have sex so they could testify on dudes in the prison with them on other cases. Now the judiciary, that's what you had, the judicial misconduct where the judge was allowing them to get away with stuff. Then you had the prosecutorial misconduct, where the DA was disregarding Brady and other issues that they had to oblige by and just doing what they want to do, and the judge was letting them get away with it. Then you had the incompetence, the lawyers' incompetencies, who was letting stuff to fly by. You know what I mean? Then you had the misconduct of the homicide detectives, who was beating dudes down in the 70s and the 80s, who was lying, who was just hiding
90s
evidence.
And 2000s.
Right, hiding evidence, could care less. You know what I mean? And that was with all of the administration, from the Rendell, like she said, Costell, Lynn Abraham, Seth Williams, even all the way up to Seth Williams. You know what I mean? And thank goodness, and this was a answer to a prayer when Larry Krasner got that office. You know what I mean? And took that and opened them files up to see just how corrupt these people has been through all these decades. And I'm sure if you know any history about Rizzo, the mayor of Philadelphia, who was a police captain, it go back then. You know what I mean? But a lot of these people would be dead by now and the files would be gone. You know what I mean? But this corruption goes deep, it's deep rooted. And this was the culture that each generation would follow up on. You know what I mean? And they all protected each other, not unless one was really out there too far, where they say, oh, he on his own. He on his own. You know what I mean? So
I mean, how many cases, how many people are still in prison as a result thereof, you know?
Yeah, that's why, you know, I'm telling you, Larry Krasner was the answer to a prayer for the stuff that he's doing. Now, many people might have many differences with him, which is natural. It's nobody going to be perfect. Right. I mean, but they
everybody,
made a statement this last election by giving him a landslide victory over this Democrat wanting to be a Republican just so he could run again and try to beat him. You know what I mean? So they made a statement throughout the country about some of this corruption that's been going on with these politics and these criminal investigations and DAs. I mean, it was like a landslide on the land. In Bucks County, they just elected a DA that hasn't been a Democrat DA for over probably 150 years, 18 something. I mean, literally, they said there ain't been a Democrat DA in Bucks County since the 1800s. They changed that up. First black woman judge that was elected in Harrisburg, was it Bucks County, but I think it was in Harrisburg, Natasha Williams. She just won a election seat out in Harrisburg as a judge. I mean, for the first time they have a black woman that was hired as a judge in Harrisburg. Angela, did I introduce you to Mark? That's my daughter and my grandson there too, Mark.
Hello. Oh, is he sleeping?
Yes, finally, thank God.
Yeah. That's my girl there. But yeah, so third party suspect. So that was in the files about who this guy was in that car at the time and who owned the car, right? And they went to investigate this guy, right? Probably 2 nights after that incident, because the incident happened like May 19th, so they may have investigated him like May 20th, 21st, something like that. So they asked him, why would your car be on the crime scene? He said, I don't know. So where was you at? Oh, I was home with my mother and my woman and my child. Oh yeah? Okay, well, we're gonna interview your woman. So they go interview his woman. And she said the same thing at a separate, she's somewhere else. But they never affirmed with the mother that they was with her. They dropped that. Then they said to the people, would y'all take a polygraph test? So they said, yeah. They said, well, we ain't got no polygraph. It's broke right now. We'll get back with you. I mean, just dropped it. Like Lily dropped it. And then by this time, Homer Lane, so it would have been before Homer Lane came on the set, I believe. Okay. So by May 19th, that's when Homer Lane. So this would have had to happen like May 17th or 18th. So May 19th, Homer Lane come on the scene. Now they really dropping that because they say, okay, we got a witness here who's gonna say this. You know what I mean? And they give me this case, and that's where he coming at. You know what I mean? But they had a witness the whole time, and they deprived our due process rights with this stuff. They know, like the DA's office now, they know they did wrong. It's like first it was, the lady Maxine McLaughlin who found the guy on the scene. That was major impeachment. It's a case, I'm sure you're familiar with this case, United States Supreme Court, I can't even think of the name, but it was dealing with where the DA has an obligation to correct the witness on the stand. Netpool versus Illinois is the old case, but there's another one that just came out to reaffirm that. And Sonia Sotomayor said, a lie is a lie. Yeah. I mean, if they didn't correct that witness on the stand, the only remedy to that is a new trial, period. Right. I mean, because a lie is a lie. You can't say, well, he lied,
that doesn't
but
make any sense.
Make no sense.
It was a small inconsistency.
Yeah, this is what they said. They said it was a small inconsistency with the witness lying on the stand.
The standard for that, an inconsistency is something like, and I think they'll even say something like, I thought it was dark out, but it may have been like dust.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not this one. This was straight out lie. Yeah. You know what I mean? And this was the linchpin of the testimony. Right. He saw me on the block after the guy walked past these two dudes, and then I ran past him. That's the linchpin of the whole case.
Yeah, that's the whole case.
That's it.
I mean, maybe so, I don't know if I missed anything, but there was nothing else, right? There's no DNA, there's no weapon, there's no gun.
Nothing else.
Just now, this guy, Homer, and that's it. And that was his testimony, which came out of nowhere too.
The crazy thing for me is, how was his testimony enough for a conviction, but him recanting it wasn't enough for
a
reverse conviction?
Exactly.
That's how Philadelphia operated back then. And when you read a lot of people, I'm sure you've met a lot of people in the law library, as soon as they got a suspect, that was it. That's
That was it.
prosecute this guy and get to the next one. I mean, they were busy, but that's not justice.
Yeah, they talk about it in the documentary a little bit about how the Philadelphia, when they beat them police beaming on somebody, they gonna get you by all means necessary.
All means necessary.
Now, there was this is what the DA's motive was. I will say this: me and the guy that got killed, me and him, the summer before that, I was giving parties and stuff like that. You know what I mean, so we had a little fight. You know what I mean, because he ain't want to pay to come in and all that. You know what I mean, we had a fight. I broke his jaw, right? He came back 2 months later, or a month and a half, or maybe a few weeks later, something like that, and shot me in my back, right? We went to court. He went to a juvenile court and all that, and the situation was resolved. It was over with. The father was there and all that. It was done. You know what I mean? So, what's that, like 9, it's like I believe it's like in October when the guy shot me. But in May, this is probably like 9 months later, something like that, give or take, about 9, 8 months later, they found him dead in the street like that. So they had no real witness that could say who did it, but they did have it. They just didn't tell us that, and that's where Mr. Hill coming at. But the father felt like he wanted me to be the target.
Did you have any relationship with?
No, I just knew. I mean, I knew him from the neighborhood. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Everybody was. In our neighborhood, everybody pretty much got along for the most part. Okay. We never had no real issues. But this dude was a young guy. He stayed drunk. He caused a lot of problems with different people. But at the same time, though, the father, he was settling on me. I think that's why they named the documentary targeted the story of Carmen Woods, because the father definitely targeted me, and he had the support of the DA and the Philadelphia District Attorney, because the District Attorney knew what he had in his files, and he didn't turn them over.
You said he owned 2 bars, right?
Yeah, the father owned 2 bars.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty significant back then.
Back
then,
yeah.
Bars
a lot of
where
you have clout.
Batman. They used examples from Philadelphia. You know, the cops used to meet in the back there. That's where they would handle business. You know, hey, you guys tell us some information, we'll let you go.
And he was in that mix heavy, paying the police off and all that type of stuff. He was with that.
How old were you, Carmen?
How old am I?
How old were you at that time?
When I came to jail, I was 19.
Wow.
19, 60, how old am I after 62 now?
Oh.
Hey, but we got like less than probably 2 minutes. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
I mean, we can follow up, man, if you want. That's because we didn't even go into what's coming up. Your court date.
Yeah, how about that?
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and that's going to be a real watch. We can follow this up, though. We can hold it off until not Wednesday. We do it another time.
We can do both. This can be part 1.
All right, there you go.
When is the court date? When is it? January what?
The court date is January 7th.
7th.
Courtroom 1001, Jennifer Schultz courtroom.
In Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
All right.
Right. See, Criminal Justice Center. Right.
Yeah.
1301 Filbert Street.
1301 Filbert Street. Thank you.
Oh, bro.
You're welcome.
But
it was nice meeting you, Carmen.
Listen, man, it was an honor to meet you too, man. I appreciate it. It is a guy I want to tell you about named John Green. He has a unique situation too. He's one of Silk friends and my friend. He want to talk to you, try to possibly do a documentary as well too.
John Green?
Yeah.
All right.
His name's John Green.
If you see him, let him know. I'll send him an email.
Matter of fact, I think you're supposed to send him one.
Say hi to you too. To you too. Say hi. Yeah.
You too. X. Hey, X.
She ran away.
His name is John Green. I think you're supposed to send him an email.
Actually, as I wrote it down, I realized,
He definitely asked me to mention him to you too.
You have a great family, man. Your family loves you.
Yes, we have a good support system. I will say that, and now we have you on support, and I appreciate you. I genuinely appreciate you, man. I'm praying for your success as well as my success, no doubt. I mean, anything else that you could think of? Because we're going to fill the courtroom up. And anybody is welcome to come down.
That's the goal,
to support.
man.
And anybody come on down, show the support, we appreciate it.